The SAR confirms that all candidates are cleared to run in the coming Legco election, just in time for the government-run election forums. The diplomatic spat between Japan and China escalates regarding Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's comments on Taiwan security. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Cheryl Yun. With approximately 1 month until the Legislative Council elections, the Candidate Eligibility Review Committee has confirmed that all nominees are qualified and their nominations are valid. Meanwhile, community groups have been taking to the streets to encourage public participation at the polls. Jeremy Zhu reports.
The Federation of Hong Kong Beijing organizations operated a street station in Shanwan earlier today, with its core members distributing leaflets to rally the public to vote. Prominent figures at the event included Chow Tai Fook Enterprises Chief Executive Patrick Tsang, Darryl Ng, Chairman of Sino Group, and President of CUHK Dennis Low.
我自己知道嘅或者我組織嘅都有。
To encourage voter turnout, the Federation's President Irons C. remarked that over a dozen restaurants are offering discounts of 10 to 15% to customers who present their poll cards, and Federation members are discussing retail discounts with relative parties. In a separate press briefing, Chief Secretary Eric Chan confirmed all 161 candidates' eligibility. He welcomed businesses offering voting incentives, but stressed such measures should not be used to canvass votes. Chan also clarified that the 4-day eligibility review period was not a rushed effort to meet the deadline for the 39 government-organized election forums beginning tomorrow. He said the committee had begun its work at the start of the nomination period, allowing candidates to start their election campaigns as soon as possible. Jeremy Chu, Cable News.
A new ferry service linking Central Pier to the West Kowloon Cultural District commenced a 4-day trial today, with complimentary tickets being offered to the public. Authorities of the Cultural District have expressed strong confidence in the new route and are already formulating plans to introduce bundled attraction tickets. Jeremy Zhu again has the story.
The 8-minute crossing named West K Ferry will officially begin full public service this Saturday. Betty Fong, Chief Executive of the West Kowloon Cultural District Authority, was among the first to experience the journey. She stated that in addition to the new ferry line, the frequency of water taxis will also be increased, believing this will make traveling to the districts from various points across the city much more convenient, and expects it to attract more visitors to the M+ Museum. Fong also revealed plans for collaborations with other major attractions, such as the Peak and Ngongping 360, to launch special combined ticket packages. One French tourist found himself among the very first passengers on the trial service.
I am glad to be one of the first travelers in this ferry. I didn't know that it's a surprise. It's my first time in Hong Kong, so I want to be surprised about everything.
The standard adult single fare is set at $20, with concessions at half price for seniors, individuals with disabilities, and children. On designated vessels, passengers can bring bicycles or pets for an additional $20. The service runs every 30 minutes daily from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. from Monday to Friday and until 11 p.m. on weekends and public holidays. To celebrate the new route and pier, over 3,000 free ferry tickets are distributed for use this Saturday and Sunday. Jeremy Chu, Cable News.
The standby signal number 1 is in force and will remain until at least noon tomorrow, as Typhoon Fung-wong makes its closest approach to Hong Kong between tomorrow night and early Wednesday. Fung-wong, which battered the Philippines as a strong typhoon, has now weakened to a typhoon. According to the latest forecast, Fung-wong is expected to turn northward gradually over the northeastern part of the South China Sea.
It is expected to be closest to Hong Kong between tomorrow night and Wednesday at first. skirting more than 400 kilometers to the east of Hong Kong. Depending on the intensity change of Fung-wong and its distance from Hong Kong, the impact of the northeast monsoon on Fung-wong and local wind conditions. The observatory will assess the need for issuing the strong wind signal number 3 or the strong monsoon signal.
The observatory said water level over the coast of Hong Kong will be generally about 0.5 meters higher than normal during the high tide overnight tonight. And the city's coastal areas will see stronger winds, especially when the storm is nearest. Apart from the typhoon, Hong Kongers should also prepare for a temperature drop in the coming days, with the mercury dipping to around 20 degrees Celsius by Thursday morning. Super Typhoon Fung-wong earlier struck the Philippines' northern island of Luzon and set off floods and landslides, killing at least 4 people. The storm is forecast to swing towards Taiwan. Jamie Liu has more.
Fung-wong made landfall in the northeastern Aurora province late Sunday, unleashing fierce winds, heavy rain and storm swells. Storm surges and rain flooded over 132 villages, damaged around 1,000 houses and downed power lines, causing an extensive devastation. After the typhoon passed, officials continued to warn that its rains still pose a danger in northern Luzon, including metropolitan Manila. Some residents were seen swimming in neck-deep floodwaters. Although more than 1.4 million people were evacuated in advance, several deaths were reported from mudslides and collapsed houses. Fung-wong is the second typhoon in a week that slammed into the Philippines. Typhoon Kamegi last week killed almost 200 people. Fung-wong is now forecast to head towards Taiwan, with Taitung County seeing waves as high as 5 meters splashed against the shore. Hualien County is also on high alert, ordering the evacuation of around 5,500 residents at risk of rock avalanche from a newly formed barrier lake. Taiwan weather officials said the storm is expected to make landfall in the island's southwest on Wednesday, bringing extreme heavy rainfall to areas including Taipei and Hualien. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
In a parliamentary meeting, Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi reiterated that Japan would not rule out military support for Taiwan in case of contingency, which Beijing said seriously eroded bilateral relationship and lodged a stern protest. This marks Takaichi's second such provocation in a week. Her initial statement reportedly prompted a stark threat from a Chinese diplomat, leading Japan to lodge its own protest. Quinton Yang reports.
In a parliamentary meeting this morning, Takaichi stated that Japan would not rule out supporting Taiwan with military force, suggesting a Taiwan contingency could be considered a threat to Japan's survival that might trigger the exercise of collective self-defense. Although she later clarified that her personal remarks did not represent the official government stance and that she would avoid specifying scenarios in the future, she refused to withdraw the earlier statements. In response, Beijing issued a strong protest. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Lin Jian accused the Japanese leader of brazenly making erroneous remarks concerning Taiwan and hinting at the possibility of military intervention, which he said crudely interferes in China's internal affairs and severely violates the One China principle. This diplomatic spat was ignited by Takaichi's speech last week, linking Japan's security to Taiwan. The rhetoric incurred a fiery rebuke from China's Consul General in Osaka, Xue Jian, who allegedly posted online, "If you go sticking that filthy neck where it doesn't belong, it's going to get sliced right off. You ready for that?" Though the post was later deleted, Japan's Chief Cabinet Secretary Minoru Kihara today condemned it as totally unacceptable, confirming that Tokyo had protested and secured its removal by Sunday night. Quintin Yang, Cable News.
The U.S. Senate has taken a key procedural step towards ending the government shutdown by moving forward a stopgap funding bill. Jamie Liu reports.
The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
In a procedural vote, the Senate voted 60-40 to pave the way for passing a package that would temporarily fund the government through January 2026. This came after a group of moderate Democrats agreed to proceed without a guaranteed extension of health care subsidies, a key demand of their party, with Republicans promising a separate vote by December. The latest agreement includes 3 spending bills to fund agriculture, military construction, and legislative agencies for most of 2026. The deal also covers a reversal of the mass firings of federal workers by the Trump administration since the shutdown began on October 1st and would ensure that federal workers receive back pay. If the measure is passed by the Senate, it still has to go through the House of Representatives and signed off by President Donald Trump, which could take several days. The shutdown continued to snarl air travel in the United States. Over 2,900 flights to, from, or within the country were cancelled, and 10,000 more were delayed on a third day of air traffic reduction. Travelers were told to brace for travel chaos during Thanksgiving. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warned that air traffic could slow to a trickle if the shutdown lingers into the busy travel holiday season. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the markets. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 407 points. Top active stocks of the day, Tencent was up $15.50. Pop Mart was up $16.60. SMIC was down 75 cents. BYD was up $3.90. On to the weather now, becoming cloudy, slightly cooler tomorrow morning. The minimum temperature will be about 21 degrees and a couple of degrees lower in the New Territories. Sunny intervals during the day with a maximum temperature of around 25 degrees. 1 or 2 light rain patches tomorrow night. Windy with swells on Wednesday. That's our news tonight. I'm Cheryl Yun. Thanks for watching and good night.